Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chad's Home. Today we are in for a very special treat because I'm sitting with a band who made one of the best EPs of 2019. That EP is called We're Starting to Get Along, and that band is Ultra Q. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks so much for being here. It means
Pleasure
a lot.
to be here.
We'll just jump right in with that EP. It's so good. I can't say enough great things about it. It's like you guys are bold on it. You're daring. You're experimenting with new sounds. You're, pushing your sound forward while I think you're just such great songwriters that it remains accessible and still listenable. I just can't say enough good things. It's fantastic.
Thank you. That's so nice.
That's everything we want to hear about it.
That's what this interview is going to be about.
Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome.
So when you went in to start recording it and sit down and actually make it, was that something front of mind? Was that intentional that you wanted to kind of push sounds and do different things?
I'd say so. It was kind of a weird process. It took a really long time because I probably started working on songs for that when I was a freshman in college, so it was like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, like we kept trying to record at different times, but we never liked what we made, so we restarted so many times, and then we decided, I'd say the last August, so like not this August, but the August before, we were like, okay, we're gonna make it, but we're gonna do it kind of just like at my house, like the same way I made the demos. So so like a lot of it was we built on top of demos that I had already made. Like the actual song We're Starting to Get Along and Wild were pretty much, we just opened up the session from my demo and just added to it.
Okay. I was going to ask if a producer was really in the room helping you guys like find that sound. It was really just you and your laptop going insane.
Did not have a producer. I say it was produced by me and Enzo. And then for Redwood, like the first day we were like, okay, this is the start of recording. The engineer who helped us with our first album from our old band in high school, he came over and just kind of like helped us set everything up and get it kind of like, he's like, here's how you do it. And because I already knew how to do a lot of recordings from making demos and stuff, but he just kind of laid it out so it would be a little bit easier and more efficient, I guess, like time-wise. So then after he kind of set up the template and got it all ready, we were just like, okay, he left, and then we just kind of we made the album, or the EP, so.
Got it. Okay, cool. And what was the first, because I think you had mentioned in another interview that Redwood was written a long time ago. Yeah. And played a long time ago. What was one of the newer songs, or what was like the last one you finished?
I think, what do you call it?
Okay.
We recorded that in like a day. It was literally just us, and because we had originally the start of what do you call it was the intro for Redwood, but then like after many fights we were like, it could just be its own song because Kevin and I really wanted it to be a song, and then it was just like a battle between like, is this a song or is this just an intro, like whatever. But then one day we were like, let's just kind of mess around with it and make something weird. So then we did, and it was literally just a day of recording, and we made the whole thing. And afterwards, I remember just being like, "That is the coolest thing we've ever made." We were so excited after that.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love the like drop out at the end to like the acoustic thing, out of nowhere. Yeah. I was like, damn.
That's one of my favorite parts of the song. Just the hard cut, acoustic weird chords.
Yeah,
throws you for a loop.
Really fun.
Yeah. Was it difficult then taking these songs and trying to learn them live, since there are, the layering and the effects and all these things? Like, how did you guys approach that?
Yes. It was really hard. Very difficult. We didn't really, I think we did a whole tour on the tour we did with Pangea and Tijuana Panthers, we didn't play Wild at all, just because, am I right in saying that?
No, yeah, we didn't play. Well, to be fair, it wasn't out yet. That was because remember it only came out in September.
I guess so.
It really had singles out.
I mean, it was done. We just had no idea how to play it.
Yeah.
Like I've been, and I still am trying to figure out a great way to play it. I've had a capo. I've used like 5 different patches on my synth to try and like figure. We've tried like reverb on the drums, like talking to I like tipped the sound guy before the show to like throw reverb on the drums for like a show, and just like that one's it shouldn't be so difficult, but it really is. But I mean,
I think it makes sense because, I mean, the whole thing was made, like, we recorded some of the vocals and guitars on that song 2 years ago, and we've had them this whole time. So it's like,
this is for Wild.
Yeah, for Wild. So it's like we never really knew how to record it or play it in a way that we liked in any way. So,
Yeah.
you know, because we all really liked that song, but we never knew how to make it, I guess, accessible for us to, I don't know.
I would say we're still struggling to figure out how we're gonna play it live.
Yeah.
It changes almost every
tour,
show or tour.
Yeah.
It keeps changing. We're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for trying because personally, that's my favorite song on the EP. I just
cool.
love it so much.
Thank you.
That the guitar line, like, I don't know, it just hits you so hard, like just the guitar.
Yeah.
So, it's great. And then, when you play live, do you guys, since you only have 5 songs, are you still incorporating some of like the Mount Eddie tracks or?
yes.
Yeah, on occasion. Okay. Yeah, I think like for headline shows for sure. I think like we try to incorporate some like kind of familiar Mount Eddie songs and stuff like that.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
And do you play any Jacob Danger songs?
I think the last time we played a Jacob Danger song
Like
was
last Mount Eddie show.
The last Mount Eddie show.
was at Gilman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
The last Mount Eddie show. So
not really.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So but do you play all 5 Ultra Q songs?
Yeah. We usually
okay.
play all 5 of Ultra Q songs, and then this tour we started playing a lot of new songs too, like almost like 5 or something, like 4 or 5 new
5
ones,
songs
because
that no
we
one's
have to
ever heard.
fill 40 minutes,
Right.
which we don't really have enough songs to do. So we usually do like the 5 Ultra Q ones, and then like a few new ones, and then like 2 of the Mount Eddie songs, something
Okay,
like that.
nice.
And then like a cover or something. That's like usually what we
Nice.
do.
What's the cover that you guys are touring?
We've kind
different ones.
of we bounced all over the place. The most recent one was Vision of Division by the Strokes.
Oh, cool.
It was on like the 3rd album, but we've covered like Ruby Soho. We do a punk, but we don't know any of the words, so we just kind of like yell to it. It's fun. I'm trying to think what else.
We did what Cure song did we do?
Oh yeah, we did In Between Days
Right.
for a while
cool.
by the Cure.
That'd be
We've covered a
beautiful.
whole bunch of different stuff
Yeah, we
over the
kind
last
of
couple of years.
Keep it
Nice.
fresh. We like
Nice.
to mix it up. Yeah.
So what was the most challenging part of rebranding for you guys? Like, was it trying to get fans to transfer over?
That was one of them.
Yeah, I think I'm not trying to come up with a new sound. I think like was because I don't know. We had a really tough time kind of. Like, we were in the studio forever, like trying to.
Because can I piggyback off you for just a second?
Yeah.
I feel like we, in all of our heads as individuals, we knew where we wanted to go, but actually projecting that into recorded music was really challenging for us.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? I feel like it just took so long, and like we were always like, not always. We often were on different pages and like on which way to go creatively on the tiniest production details and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess. Oh, sorry.
No,
For
you go,
Mount
you go.
Eddie,
Yeah,
I think
you
we
go.
had like a cookie cutter kind of equation.
Right.
Where we just.
So much easier.
Yeah. We just like.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Jacob's part, Kevin's part, Chris's part, Enzo's part, and then you get a Mount Eddie song. And then we're
Right.
trying to kind of think outside the box a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hard when like every person in this band is a perfectionist in like everything that we do.
and has their own separate vision.
Yeah, and we practice every day. Like we practice so much that we practice every day, like twice a day, and we're always working on stuff. So it was hard to think about, you know, having more freedom like creatively and like being more, I guess, adventurous, but then also worrying about like and stressing out about like, is anyone gonna like this, you know?
Right.
Like that was one of the biggest, like for what do you call it, I remember like we finished it, we were stoked, we were like, this is the coolest thing we've ever made, and then immediately afterwards we listened to it in the car, we were like, no one's gonna like this. You know, we were like, oh no. So it's definitely, I think we just kind of came to the decision of like kind of screw it, and this is kind of what we wanted to make. So yeah, I don't know. I think we kind of. I'm stoked on how the whole process turned out, because I think we didn't really leave behind our old fans in a way, but we also, I think, kind of guided them towards where we're going,
right?
In a way, without alienating them, I guess.
Yeah. No, exactly, and that's kind of what I had mentioned a little bit earlier in the intro. It's like is experimental and you are pushing the boundaries and you are doing things, but your songwriting is still so, I don't know, it's just so strong. It's like so good to, easy for fans to like grasp onto and actually like listen. It's like structured well, and it's like, it's not this weird like out, like when some bands try to move their sound forward and they just go like completely experimental and just like lose everyone. I feel like you guys did a really good job of finding that middle ground of like still being an accessible band, but also, you know, pushing music forward, which is so
That's
cool.
exactly what we want.
Yeah, you guys
making our day. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you guys totally achieved that, honestly.
Thank you.
Could you guys school me a little bit on the Oakland scene? I never get to talk to Northern California bands. Down here it's very much like, I don't know, good weather, so there's a lot of backyard shows and things like that. But is that kind of the same, or is it mostly venues, all ages venues?
I mean, so the Bay Area is really cool because there's a lot of DIY all ages venues, like a lot of them, and they're all, and there's good sized ones, there's tiny ones with like 20-person legal capacities.
Oh wow!
So there's tons of like, there's kind of a venue for everyone.
Oh cool.
And they're kind of sprinkled all throughout the Bay Area. So you can play in San Francisco, you can play in Berkeley, you can play in Oakland, you can play in San Jose. You can kind of find a spot anywhere that's. And these DIY all ages venues are super open to just having kids that are 16 play all the time.
Right.
I mean, 94 Gilman notably, where that I would call that, and like our local record store, 124 Records, are our hometown venues, and they are always like down, kind of like not just let anyone willy-nilly play, but like they don't really care if you're a 16-year-old, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like the smell down here?
I'd say Gilman is like the smell of NorCal or of the Bay. Yeah. But like our first show was at 124 Go Records, and like we still play there. You know, like I don't remember the last time we did, but it was
on
like,
occasion.
I mean, like we still play there. And Gilman, we just played there like last week. So,
but there's also a big house show culture, and like
there is. Okay.
It's
I don't know. I don't know because it's also
you definitely don't see it like in LA. Though.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same as LA because like you can play Gilman. Like if anyone sends Mari an email, 9 times out of 10, I bet like they usually get. Like at least it seems
like if you're nice and like
Yeah,
you're professional about it, like,
and you're cool. I don't know if you're nice to people. Yeah, I don't know.
That's cool.
But yeah.
But I help out and I'm hanging out at 94 Gilman all the time, and it's awesome. Like, just different bands every night. Like, it's, I don't know. It's I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I see. I had no idea about any of that, so thank you. And then growing up, even older, I know that you come from a musical family. Your dad taught you bass in order to join the band, right? Were you guys just kids, growing up, 3-4-year-olds playing music, or how did you really step into it?
Sure, yeah. For me, my family wanted me to play sports and stuff. So
cool.
I never I played football for 2 years, my first 2 years of high school, and I played baseball and stuff. And then I just knew Chris and Enzo because we played in middle school. We played in this after school music program together, and that's how we kind of started jamming. And then we kept jamming in high school, and then I don't know. It definitely wasn't forced upon us. It doesn't feel like, at least for me. And it was more just we like to do it a lot. So yeah.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my dad was in a cover band with his high school friends when I was 6 years old, and he just figured he'd teach me while he had the drum set out, and then I just kind of took it from there. I joined the jazz band, and then actually met Jacob's brother kind of through jazz band and rock band through this middle school program, and then Jacob I met in 4th or 5th grade, and we just kind of stuck together a little bit.
Nice.
And, and then Enzo just started learning music.
He was
Played banjo.
close to a prodigy when he was young. And so
That's awesome.
I started learning bluegrass guitar because that was what was available. And then I just worked my way into different genres, and then I joined jazz band with him, and I did ended up doing like 7 years of jazz band, as well as playing in Jacob Danger and Mount Eddie, and it definitely wasn't. I didn't learn anything from my family, and I barely jammed with him. Every like once in a while I would play with him, but it was not
school programs.
Yeah, high school.
And then you heard Radiohead and you never went back.
Yeah, and I'm just like all day long, just like.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so important. Like school programs. It's like, yeah. Were you in jazz as well?
You were.
I've been a singer my whole life.
Oh, okay.
I learned how to play an instrument for this band.
Which we didn't know.
Right. I love that story.
Yeah. I can tell it again. But I've been singing classical choirs since I was like on and off since I was like 4 years old. Classical's in my blood. Like that was my main thing from age 5 to 15, 16. And then when I was a sophomore, Enzo asked me if I knew how to play bass, and I said yes, because at this point in Jacob Danger, Enzo was playing bass for half the set and guitar for the other half of the set, and it was kind of ridiculous.
He would switch.
And I went to every single show because Enzo was my friend, and I loved the band. So I knew there was no other reason for him to ask me if I knew how to play bass if they weren't going to ask me to try playing with them. So I said yes. My dad's
liar.
been a musician. Yeah. My dad's been a musician his whole life. He plays bluegrass. He's played in rock bands. He plays a million instruments. I was like, Dad, I think he's tried to teach me instruments over the years, but I was always super reluctant to kind of follow his path. But then I was like, all right, Dad, I'm ready. I need you to teach me bass right now. And then, but it was kind of funny because Enzo was totally catching on to me because Enzo was teaching me the Jacob Danger songs, and I could definitely tell he was kind of like, you don't know how to play, do you? It was like, because I was horrible because I started learning less than a week beforehand. But I learned how to play bass for this band, and I learned guitar and piano and stuff in the last couple of years, and
that's amazing.
It's been a journey.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
Love it. Who stars in the Redwood video?
Oh,
that is my sweet Chloe.
That's his girlfriend.
Nice.
I still think it's like the coolest thing we've done. I love that video.
And our friend Andrew Diaz, he shot the whole thing, and like it was super cool because we shot it on like film and digital, and like it was just a really fun day, and I think it looks the way it does because of him, and it would not be the same if in any way if
God
he wasn't
bless his soul.
us.
Yeah.
But
nice. Are you guys doing more videos?
Hope so. I don't know if we'll do any more for the EP, but definitely like on the next thing we do, we're gonna always try and make videos.
We're focusing on like because we do everything ourselves right now. Like that music video we just shot in his garage.
That's cool.
And just us. So it's kind of all timing thing. I don't think it'll work out because we're working on new stuff right now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So is this EP leading into an album?
Yes, but I wouldn't say like. I don't think the album's gonna end up sounding exactly like the EP. It's gonna be more. I think if we're gonna try and go a little bit more like extreme and more, or not extreme, but like, I guess bring it up a little bit in the quality. Like we're gonna go to a studio and we're gonna record it like over the course of like 2 weeks, and so I'd say it was like a really good representation of where we were at the time and kind of where we're going. But I think the next thing we do is going to be a little bit more, I don't know, it's going to be different. We're always kind of...
It's not going to be recorded at home, just us.
Yeah.
So we'll see where we land.
Nice. Are the songs written for it?
A lot. We have too many songs. The problem right now is too many songs. Yeah.
Is it just because you guys practice so much and are with each other so much? You're just like coming up with new things all the time.
We never practice our set. That's our problem. Is we're always practicing new songs, and then it's like, oh wait, we have a show tomorrow.
Bathroom breaks are the real times you make the good licks.
Yeah.
Because he'll go to the bathroom for a second, and Jacob will just be like, and I'll be like, shit, I know exactly what goes here.
Yeah.
And then we'll like write a song before he comes back, and then like he's like, hop on the drums right now. God damn.
We put down. Yeah, we should probably play practice better.
Yeah, we're working on it. I don't know. I don't know if you can tell. We're all like sick and we're all really tired. It's because we've been writing and working on this for a long time. So, and we're kind of in the thick of it, or we're in like the prep. Yeah, because we're recording in January. So like we're kind of getting.
We're in crunch time right now. We're
not crunch time, but like.
But after this tour is over, it's kicking into
cracking the whip.
Gear 7 here for a second. Yeah, and like
nice
because
we're all super excited though. We're like stoked. Like we've been looking forward to recording for.
I can't wait.
Ever, for like 2 years. So
yeah, that's gonna be sweet. Dang, that's crazy that you guys made that EP like just yourselves. Because I thought it was in a studio, and I thought it was like,
I did it at my house.
I'm very curious how it's gonna be in the studio. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
All right, last question. So say you're on a deserted island, and you only have Robert Smith records or Julian Casablancas records.
Oh yeah.
Which one would you choose?
I would take Robert Smith records just because there's so much variety in them. I don't know. Like you have, like I actually recently, I didn't even know Faith was an album until recently, and apparently it's between my two favorite ones, which are Pornography and 17 Seconds. So it was like, yeah, I think I would take Robert Smith ones because they're just, I don't know. I love them. Yeah.
I would go Julian records.
Yeah, I'd go Julian too. There's a lot more variety.
And Julian.
I would say they're both very diverse songwriters and incredible musicians. Those are probably two of our project's biggest influences.
Because would the Robert ones include Susie and the Banshees? Because he played in Susie and the Banshees.
Throw it in there.
Maybe. So yeah, I would take Robert. It's personal preference.
How do you expect us to decide? I don't know.
There are no rules.
What about you?
Impossible.
I think he would take neither and take Radiohead.
Take Tom.
Tom York.
Nice. Cool. Well, yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining. It means a lot. Do you have any shout outs or anything you wanted to say before we sign off?
Love you, Sprout.
Yeah. Our manager, Evan, you're the best. I don't know. Yeah. Thanks for having us. This is really cool.
Yeah.
Come to a gig. Come to a show.
Out too.
Hey.
I don't know. I like the band Beach Goons.
Oh yeah, because
I like the band. I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he must like.
Because David's the one who booked our show down there.
I was gonna say shout out to David because he's the one that showed me you guys. He's the one who introduced me.
Dude, he's the man. He's been so cool to us. He came to our first back in May. We did like our first 3 shows as Ultra Key. It was like our first shows. So we did one in San Francisco,
sweetest guy,
one in LA, and one in San Diego. And he came to the San Diego one, and they were both him and was Elias there? Or no, it was Chris.
Yeah.
And they were just like super cool and super nice. And
Yeah.
they're just so friendly. I don't know.
Dude, the best.
Love them.
Yeah, I'm rocking this beanie in homage to David. This is his style.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Topo Chico. Thank you guys for providing the waters. It's very, very kind of you. Sweet. So stay tuned. We'll get into some music right now. I'll put like social links for Ultra Q and all that in the description below. And yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right. Peace.
Thank you.
ways, but it's changing all the time.